Okay, we're gonna talk about games that I've never beaten. I don't know, some people might be interested in this. There's only a few. First one that comes to mind, Final Fantasy IV DS. Uh, this game was very disappointing compared to Final Fantasy 3DS. And it was also really hard, which is usually a good thing. But I didn't want to grind in the last dungeon. So I made all the way to the end and then I gave up. Even with action replay, where two out of five characters were at max stats, I still did not care to um, finish the game. So yeah, a lot of people love this game. I didn't really care for it. I thought three was better. Another game I never beat was Final Fantasy X. Oh gosh, even seeing the character art makes me feel not good. This game I did not enjoy. I did not enjoy it. I think at all. I got all the way to the final boss, and then I never played it again. I never even beat the final boss. I have no idea why. I was also kind of going through depression at the time, so that might be part of it. But yeah, I did not consider this game worth beating. So that's two Final Fantasy games. Another one, Final Fantasy VIII. Wow, three Final Fantasy games. I don't know why I stopped playing this one. I was playing it at an emulator, so that might have contributed to that. But I've beaten games on emulators. But maybe RPGs, you just kind of, unless you buy the game yourself, you don't really want to beat it. You don't really feel the desire to. Same for Chrono Cross, also on emulator. Got decently far. Did not really. This game sucks. Sorry, just gotta say it. And I think I like 8 story. But I was just kind of like using the speed option to go through all the bosses. All I did was summon for each battle. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to junction. I don't have any negative feelings towards this game like a lot of people do. And I think Squall is probably the best character they've ever made. Anyway, so that's three Final Fantasies and one Chrono Cross. It's 4 Square Enix games, so it's not looking good for Square Enix. And now we get to another one that I never beat. I even had friends help me with this one. I was just not too into it. I made it to the water temple, and then someone got the Bigoron sword and beat Dark Link for me. And then I think I played to the light temple, or no, I got to Gerudo Village, and I thought it was. I mean, I enjoyed the game. I had a lot of fun, and I never beat it. I had it on Wii. Yeah, another one that I never beat. I got pretty far. I think I'm about maybe halfway. I think I beat 3 temples or something. And yeah, I realized it was kind of the same thing. You find something out in the open ocean, and you're like, wow, a hidden ship or chest or island or something. And then you go inside it, and it's the same thing you've seen before. And then you open the treasure chest inside. And after that happened, the magic was completely gone for me. Once I saw that they had copy and pasted some things. But I did beat the one after this, Twilight Princess. It kind of has the similar problem. No, it doesn't have the similar problem. It has a different problem. You get rupees, and then but you already have too many, so you just kind of you just discover dungeons, and there's no point because if you have max rupees and you go into like not a dungeon but a cave, and you open the chest, bam, you got 100 rupees that disappears because you're already at max. Another Zelda game I never beat is the literal sequel to this. I forgot what it was called. Zelda DS. Just to remind, yeah, Phantom Hourglass. I like this game. I had fun, and then I didn't play it for 3 months, and then there's this one dungeon that requires previous knowledge or your memory, and since I hadn't played in 3 months, totally forgot how to do it, and never went back. So that's three Zelda games I've never beaten. I don't really care for Zelda. I have beaten some of them, like A Link to the Past and Zelda 2 and Breath of the Wild. But yeah, I just don't really care for Zelda, I guess. Let's see. What other games have I. Yeah, I pretty much beat every game that I get. So if I don't beat it, it's like a bad sign. Oh, Dark Souls. I got a third of the way through, and then I found out that um, the first third of the game is the best, and after that it goes downhill. So then I kind of stopped playing. And I got to this boss, and I didn't really want to play anymore. I didn't want to, like, oh gosh, it was just like, you know what, this has been kind of tough. I've had fun. It's been glorious, but there's better things to do. There are better things to do. Yeah, let's see. Were there any other games? Usually I can think of some, but, well, okay. For the N64, I don't think there was any games I never ended up beating. Super Nintendo, Super Mario Kart. I just did not care for Super Mario Kart. I thought it was too hard to go forward, and I played all the tracks in the GBA game. I mean, I liked that it was hard, but I just wasn't gonna do it. I just wasn't gonna do it. Also, the presence of Donkey Kong Jr. irked me because he has he's been in that game. I don't think he's really been in anything else, and like he just looks like he needs to be put to death. Yeah, but every other Mario Kart game I have beaten completely except for this one. So that kind of says something. Although my first Mario Kart was 64, so this is the only one that came before it, so that kind of makes sense. For GameCube, I don't think there was any games. Oh, another game I never beat. Final Fantasy X. Yeah, I got to like almost the end, and then I did not want to grind, and so I just quit. I quit the game, and I did not beat it, and I watched the cutscenes instead. So that's 5 Final Fantasy games on this list, and I think that's a sign that yeah, I don't really like Final Fantasy, which is kind of strange because as a kid, Final Fantasy 3 was like my favorite game, or so I thought. So, and that's like not one that people think much of. The DS one, that is, not 6. A lot of people think of 6. Yeah. Can't think of any other games. Oh, Mega Man 10. Mega Man 10's a great game. I just never beat the last boss. I was like, I've done enough. I worked hard. So, not finishing a game doesn't mean that it's bad. It just might mean you're like, hey, that's enough. That's enough. But that does remind me of another game I never beat. Mega Man 8. Another game I emulated. I did not care for this one. Did not care for Mega Man 8. I like the music. I like the game. But I just was not, and for the PlayStation, and I just was not gonna put in the effort to beat it. I don't even know why I played this one. It's got charm, but I just did not. I mean, of course, there's games that I've started but never beaten. Um, that's a bit different, you know. It could just mean they didn't catch my interest. Like Final Fantasy IX, started but never beat. I'm just barely. I just played it so little. And Mega Man X, I played just a little bit, and you know, just did not. It did not catch my interest. So, and I never bothered to go all the way with those games. But I wouldn't count them as games I never beat. It's more like I would count them more like games I never really played. So that's it's a qualifier. It's there's a distinction to be made. Yeah.